Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
There it is.
There it is.
Nothing screams Old Heart Radio like
that.
bullshitting for 45 minutes to a bass line.
Hey man, it happens. Whoa, this is another episode of Matinee Edition.
Heyo!
This is episode 13, I think.
Something like that.
Something like that. 13's a cursed number though, so I hope it goes all right.
Yeah, this is an edgy one.
This is an edgy episode.
Edgy.
So fucking edgy.
If only it was Friday the 13th.
Dang it, that would be like the ultimate seal on the deal. Had to do it. Soundboard.
That's it.
I just want to drop this out like right away. I just want to shout out. I didn't actually read the full details of this, but Danny Trejo. Do you know who Danny Trejo is?
Absolutely not.
Oh my god. Okay, so he played Machete. In the,
Oh, that dude.
Yeah. So he just recently, like I think yesterday.
I know him as Machete.
I don't know his body of work, but I know him as Machete. Machete. So he just recently, I read very briefly that he saved a child from a like upside down car or some shit like that.
This is fucking great.
Yeah.
Especially with the shit that's going on in our nation right now. It's always good to see some good news every once in a while.
Doing some good. I think
well earned.
Well earned air horn.
Amen.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's been kind of like I've just been kind of I don't know. I've been out of it this week a little bit.
Hasn't been much crazy news.
Nah, I think ever since like there's always a cool down after Comic at San Diego Comic.
I feel like that's perfect though. We'd eventually get burned out if it was like Marvel shoved up your ass.
Yeah,
consistently.
just like a constant barrage.
Like it's
you gotta tastefully throw things in people's faces.
It's like we're far enough away from Stranger Things. It's like
Totally.
the fucking monster in Stranger Things 3 where it's pumping shit into their faces.
Oh god, yeah.
It's like that's Marvel to us. Oh my god, what a horrifying noise.
It was. It's okay, dude. Because you know what? Hopefully somebody else will be listening to this in headphones. That's always, every time I make a gross noise on any one of these podcasts, I always just imagine somebody else is just like listening to them. Like,
and just like retches a bit.
Yeah, like,
oh. Because, you know, I don't listen to Coffee and Contemplation early or anything. So whenever a new episode comes out, I listen to it like a normal fucking person.
yeah.
Not like the blatant elitist I usually am. But I was walking through the grocery store and I was just listening to some random podcasts and one ended and Coffee and Contemplation started up.
Oh, God.
And all I heard was, good! And I was just like, oh,
It's
gross.
the most offensive thing. I can't, like, yeah, like every time I start that, it's like I always think like, what can I do to be the most abrasive right away, so that everything else just seems like a decrescendo. So it's
Imagine
like,
somebody putting themselves to sleep with podcasts and
my
accidentally
God,
forgot to
dude.
set the sleep timer and they wake up at like midnight to
that'd
good.
be so horrible. I mean, like if that happened, I wish somebody would just reach out and just say it, like just be like, yo, dude. You need to change that opening.
$5 the first person.
Also, shout out, like, there's somebody. Okay, so I was just checking the analytics on like all of our recordings, right?
Yeah.
And like apparently we're really big in the mainland here, you know,
The mainland.
but also
Olympia?
but also in Alaska. There's
You're shitting me.
no joke. There's some random cats like listening to us up in Alaska.
That's awesome.
I don't know who it is.
Hey, you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Shout outs to you.
Yeah.
Shout outs.
Reach out to us on Instagram.
No joke. Like, I'm always interested in knowing like who the random people are that listen to these.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's slowly been building. I think it's just because
It's just like, fuck it. We're having a good time with
we're
this.
having a good time. We're doing it.
And hey, anybody listening to this, you got any subject recommendations for us? Send them our way via Instagram.
No joke.
If you're not following the Instagram, give them a follow. Like the post. Share them with your friends.
Yeah.
You fucking pleb.
You fucking pleb. So we just recently. Okay, it's been another week. We got Hobbs and Shaw. We're gonna talk about a little later.
Yeah, we watched that just about 2 nights ago.
Which was fucking crazy, but we're gonna set that aside for right now. You were just talking about right before this.
X-Men?
Yeah. You
Okay,
want to
cool.
dive into that?
There's a new run going on with X-Men. Why
House of X.
House of X. I almost said House of M. House of X. So that's going on right now. It's sort of changing the world of the Marvel Universe and the comics right now.
Nice.
So the big deal is that Magneto is number one part of the X-Men. Casual movie fans, that can be a shock to. Because he's never really, like, he's sort of more buddy-buddy with, like, the Fassbender incarnation.
Yeah.
But he's still, like, sort of the anti-hero.
Yeah.
And he very much is in the comics still, but he's, like, wearing an X-Men badge now.
Okay, so he's just, like, officially become a team member.
Yeah, and he's got this fucking cool, like, all-white Magneto costume. It's really cool.
Nice.
But he has now convinced Professor X to adopt his mindset. So humans and mutants can't live in peace, and mutants are the next step.
So like so Charles Xavier's kind of accepted the like superiority of mutant kind.
So I read the first. I know by the time this is gonna be out, there's gonna be another issue. But I read the first one, and there's like this weird like plant that they're sending all over the world. Okay. And it like cures diseases of humans, I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit.
But then it teleports X-Men or mutants to other locations. So they're setting up this like teleportation network between a ton of different countries, and it all comes back to Genosha.
That's wild. I mean, that's
so like
awesome tech. Like, what do you call it? I mean, is it tech? It's a plant?
It's related to that fucking. There's a mutant that's like an island or something. I'm forgetting about this. It's like deep. It's deep X-Men lore. I'm pretty sure.
Dude. Deep cuts.
Deep cuts with Charles Xavier. But no, so like the governments, the world started getting fucking pissed about this naturally.
Yeah.
And it's very much a satire of like post 9/11 sort of like conspiracy and people being overtly paranoid and not letting. It's like the X-Men have always been like they've always been an analogy for oppressed people.
Yeah, one of the beautiful things about X-Men since the beginning has been that they've represented the smaller guy, basically. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Whether it was people like in like I mean black like what Black Panther spoke to recently. Yeah. The X-Men spoke to that when they first started in like the 60s.
Yeah, like they were supposedly a good metaphor for
racism,
the LGBTQ community.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Before that was really a thing, and that became like kind of a mainstream concept.
Absolutely.
So like they've always been representing, like I said, the underdog. But
it's been a bit. It's not been super hand-fisted if you read between the lines, but in this storyline, it very much seems like that. So it's pretty much Magneto telling a bunch of these like Americans, a bunch of people from different foreign countries. That like
politicians.
Yeah, but that's the word I was hunting for there. Politicians. Politicians and like analysts and all that jazz that like you need to accept that like mutants are the next step. Yeah. There was a whole deal I guess a while back where the US government sent a bunch of Sentinels to Genosha and killed a ton of X-Men. Yeah. Or not X-Men, but mutants. Yeah. And because mutants were set to overtake the human population, they had to cut some of it out. And yeah, which is fucked up.
Like Marvel's dealt with, that's like a dark thing to dive into.
So, but pretty much it's like, it's over. Mutants are the next step where we don't want to be hostile, but you need to come to terms with the fact that there are new gods on this earth. Yeah. And we are the next step of human evolution. Yeah.
We don't want to be hostile, but we will be if pushed.
Yeah. Like, we will protect our interests. We are here. And it's the whole deal of like, one of the politicians is armed, and Magneto's like, "Why do you have a gun?"
Well, that's kind of.
And he's like, "It's for my protection." He's like, "That's how it always starts." Yeah. It's like, and then somebody's gonna pull the trigger, and it's gonna be all-out warfare. Yeah. Which is like, it's not like he's wrong.
Well, in a way, it could be like, I mean, listen, we're coming off the brink of like a couple of mass shootings. Like, in a way, like what you just said is kind of like, you can kind of trace that to the idea of like why do we have a gun control issue, right? Yeah. Like, because a lot of people feel unsafe, so they want to be protected from something. But it's like, reality is there's a lot of other shit out there that leaves you completely unprotected, right? Yep. We have a whole world stuffed full of nuclear arms.
Your fucking Glock's not gonna save you from that shit.
We have climate change eating away at our lifespans, basically. Like, much. So what's the point of your little gun protecting you? Like,
exactly.
It's Magneto's thing. We are the new gods. There's a new order to the system.
It's like you can
adjust.
be okay with it. It's like you can be okay with it and accept change.
Yeah.
Or you can stand in our way.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens either way.
Yeah. That's interesting. I need to start picking up this run then.
Yeah.
It's really fucking interesting.
Yeah, it looks interesting. The fact that like Charles Xavier, who's been so fucking sworn on the fact that like they're equals.
Yeah.
Like despite how mutants are like showing signs of being the next generation, it's like he doesn't want to oppress humans. He doesn't want to be hostile.
Wanted to lift both sides.
Yeah, because they're all still human.
Yeah.
But the fact of it is like now Charles Xavier has completely dropped that sentiment.
Which is crazy.
And put on a big fucking helmet. He's walking around. It looks sort of cool.
Okay, so
he's walking
around. So what's going on with that?
I don't know, man.
I just like.
But then like,
I know that's probably like the smallest thing that should blow my mind in this whole storyline. But like for some reason, I'm just like, what the hell?
I don't know. It's like, but it like started the story with that. I'm like, I missed something from a previous run here.
Something happened a couple arcs ago.
Yeah, something happened a while back, and that bullet got pulled out of his spine or something. But yeah,
okay.
I'm super excited with where it goes. Supposedly there's a Carnage run right now that's really fucking shaking it up.
I just saw like some random, like I'm always on Reddit following comic book bullshit. I just saw this thing that was like Carnage has become a god. And
wait,
I was
seriously?
Like, yeah, and I was like, okay, so this needs to be addressed. Like I haven't delved into it yet, but like
all I saw was a What Culture YouTube video being like House of X and Carnage are fucking crazy.
Damn, dude. There's Marvel's just churning out good run after good run. I mean, they have the means to like really let their writers just
go. Did you said you just finished Secret Empire? We're talking about
yeah. I picked up that paperback like a little while ago. And I mean, it's amazing. It's everything from the artwork to the storylines through the storyline. It's just fantastic. But it's. One of the things that got me was that it really is like such a solid commentary in time at times to like modern day. Yeah. And like to not just like in a lot of weird ways, like to reality, yes, but also to things going on in terms of like the greater, like in terms of like the MCU and like the progression of movies. Yeah.
But it has relevant themes to how Marvel has been going for a long time.
Totally.
And I love at the end of that story when like proper Captain America and Hydra Captain America are like fighting each other, and there's the commentary of like, this isn't just a fight between two men, it's a fight for the culture, it's a fight for the future, it's a fight for the people. Yeah. And I forget if it's in like a follow-up comic, but there's a debate between the two of them after Hydra Cap is captured, where he was like, it was an authoritarian government, but people felt safe and people were okay with it. Yeah. Like, so I did succeed, and they're never going to trust you the same way. Yeah. Which is something that's been, like, hinted at in recent Captain America stories with Steve Rogers, is that, like, because of this Hydra Cap, no one fucking trusts him anymore. Yeah. I mean, dude, it'd be... I imagine that story has just rippling effects and will have rippling effects for a while. Because there's two of them now. Yeah, which is fucking crazy. Yeah. But I mean, it's that story definitely made me really excited about Sam Wilson. Yeah, he had some really cool stuff to do in that story. He did, and the writing in the story was really well done in terms of like providing the proper voices to the proper characters. Yeah. And Sam Wilson's voice throughout that book was really interesting in particular. Like and so like I guess it reflected that. I really hope that Anthony Mackie is like taking the time to read some of these kind of stories. He has said he really embrace that role of like what Sam Wilson can be. I think presented as, Yeah, I think he can. I feel like Anthony Mackie, as much as like he's sort of a funny man. Yeah. Like if you watch The Winter Soldier again, he's a very serious character. He's got his like quips, but he's very much like the same type of man as Steve Rogers. Yeah, which is why I think he's I think he's a great choice to like further that character. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. But like, yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of those moments in there. The Captain America, the Hydra Cap picking up Thor's hammer, which turned out to be, if I'm correct, turned out to be like a ruse, basically. Yeah, it was a spell from Madame Hydra. I'm pretty sure. Which is kind of like a cool thing to just see at the end there, near the end of the story. Like, it's like, okay, so that was bullshit, because that was like one of those things I questioned the entire length of that story. I was like, how the fuck Yeah.
Like, I mean, sure, like your intentions are pure enough.
It's like when Magneto picked up the hammer, and it was him using his powers.
Yeah, it was literally him using magnetism to pick it up.
Yeah. It's cool nonetheless.
I mean, also, just shout out to Ultimatum real quick. If you haven't read that storyline, you have to. Because
a lot of people, I haven't. A lot of people give Ultimatum shit.
They do, but it's just so fucking like crazed.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about it. If there's one thing, it's very much how we're going to talk about Hobbs and Shaw in a minute.
Yeah.
Like it's just actually, fucking insanity.
It's kind of a good segue in terms of what we've been doing here, man.
Yeah,
because like it really does. It takes a lot of extreme elements of these characters. And you're just like, and just lets them run, dude. Like
makes them even more extreme.
Yeah, and it just lets them go, dude. Like you see Doctor Strange's head.
Get popped by Dormammu. Yeah, I've seen that shot.
That panel is so fucking intense. Like you just like it's just you can feel it, dude. It's just gnarly. It's but
headphone users beware.
Yeah, beware. But like it's fun because it's extreme, sort of like Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah,
which is kind of the point of that movie, I think.
Yep.
And how we're going to transition.
Are we going straight into Hobbs and Shaw?
We're just going to turn the wheel. We're just going to hit the moonshine, if you will, and go right into Hobbs and Shaw. Shit. None of you will get that unless you've seen the fucking movie.
I mean, hit the moonshine and then zoom down into the engine compartment.
Let's do that movie, man. I'm telling you.
Was it the Hobbs and Shaw drinking game? No, it was the Fast and Furious drinking game. Every time somebody says family, every time The Rock says something obnoxious, every time somebody hits the NOS, every time it zooms into the engine compartment, every time somebody accelerates through space and time, it's like, fuck.
Dude, and I mean, okay, so just to get it out of the way, would you say that Hobbs and Shaw provided what you needed it to provide?
Dude, absolutely.
There you go.
Like, not getting into any. So just to preference, we talk about this before we even started recording here. We're gonna do like maybe 5 to 10 minutes of non-spoilers, just for people that haven't seen it. After that, we'll give you a little heads up. Then we're gonna go into spoilers. So probably the rest of the show.
Yeah, probably.
So we might throw a couple things in the end, but if not, go watch the movie. Let's just throw it out there. Definitely worth watching.
Oh,
I had a good time watching this film.
It was fun, man.
Even more so because the annoying lady sitting next to you.
Oh my god! Wow.
Every time The Rock or Jason Statham did something somewhat impressive of their physical body, she would go, "No way!"
Yeah.
Wow.
The amount of times I heard "no way" come from that lady was so funny, and she's like crunching on stuff the entire time. It was like in between like snacks she brought from home.
Yeah, it was like, oh, she's having Doritos now.
Yeah. And there's a couple of times the guy next to you was like a little talking.
Yeah, he was there with his kid, and the kid was sort of spurring it on a bit, and like the kid was like, I could hear it's like, whoa, and the dad be like, that's cool, right?
Like cheering him on.
Yeah, good. The kid's having fun.
But that's the thing, man. Like people.
This movie's
across the board. We're having fun. Like kids
this movie's
were having
gonna
fun,
make
old white ladies were having fun.
We were having a really good time.
We had a good time.
Yeah. I had a smile on my face the whole way through that fucker.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, okay, so my take on it is that it definitely is less, it's definitely less of a Fast and Furious movie than you'd think. I mean, if you were expecting that. It retains some elements, but very few.
I especially appreciate the thematic continuity of the Fast and Furious franchise passing on to the Hobbs and Shaw franchise. Which, let's just... let's be real. I mean, this isn't a fucking spoiler. They're gonna be making more of these movies.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no The Rock is only in. He's trying to. The amount of movies that The Rock has made, these like random action big budget action movies he's made. He's just throwing things at a wall, trying to for one of them to stick to become.
I'm pretty sure he knew this one was gonna be the one that would.
Well, that's why they started with the Fast and Furious Presents.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to leech the fan base.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, well, I mean. Essentially, these characters were created in the Fast and Furious universe, but they are absolutely making their own, right? With this movie.
Absolutely. It has sort of like it's shot differently. It has sort of an overall different vibe. Yeah, it's still Fast and Furious.
It's I hesitate to say a more family friendly Fast and Furious, but I definitely think that is. There's just because like
there was one shot with egregious ass.
Yeah, fair enough. There was that, but that was one of my things.
We looked at each other. And went, this is a Fast and Furious movie.
I was like, that's a staple. There's ass shots. You know, it's a Fast and Furious movie. If there's an ass shot, if they're like, one of the themes is definitely the secret F family.
Yeah,
it's like the lost, the third silent F.
Yeah,
like Fast and Furious and family, and then if there's like
one-liners.
Or the thing that I missed because I stepped out to take a piss. The one time I stepped out to take a piss throughout this entire movie.
Corona.
And I missed the Corona shot. So if it's got Corona, family, and ass shots, it's definitely a Fast and Furious movie.
But and it's gonna make $1 billion.
Definitely.
Wait, what I totally cut you off.
I was just gonna say, I think I still, even with all those, I think they're just making a slightly more family friendly version.
Yeah.
So.
Any drawbacks to you?
I mean, okay. I guess without getting to spoilers, it's kind of difficult. Should we just continue? Like, do you think?
I mean, I will say, if there's one non-spoiler thing I can say.
Yeah.
It's a fucking shame that The Rock shaved that obnoxious goatee that he's had in all the previous movies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now he's actually just The Rock.
But for like 1 second, he had like a little bit of a mustache.
Yeah.
But that was like a weird thing. So there's like a scene.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But yeah, you're right. Like he's literally just kind of transformed into like The Rock in movies.
Yeah, like they don't give a shit. It's like even with the fucking goatee, it was like, no, it's The Rock.
Yeah. Well, and he's built himself up as such. Like, he's built himself up to be a character, which is probably why I really hesitate to say this because I think it's a great casting. I doubt that he will actually ever show up as Black Adam. They say that they're shooting that movie, but I think The Rock's outgrowing becoming like somebody else's character. He's just becoming The Rock.
Dude, the gravitational pull of The Rock.
The gravitational pull of The Rock.
Oh fuck. Pulls the headphones out.
It's all good.
Oh, there it is.
He failed.
Oh no.
No, it's all good though. So
there it is.
Either way though, so the Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. I would give it personally a solid 17.3 out of 21.
Oh my god, that's the most convoluted.
What's your rating? It doesn't have to be on the same scale. We can use different scales. I understand.
I'm gonna give it 2 out of 2 shaved Rock and Jason Statham heads.
Definitely.
Or as I call it, a B.
A B. Solid B.
Let's say B, soft B. No, heavy B, soft B plus.
Fair enough. I'll agree with that.
A perfectly acceptable film in about every way. You're gonna have a blast watching it if you don't take it too seriously.
Definitely.
This is why I'm never gonna watch that shit with my girlfriend. Because she's an English major. She's all about the fucking storyline. That doesn't exist in this film. Everything is there to set up fucking action sequences and have a good time.
Absolutely.
And there's some people that can't appreciate that.
Nah. There's some people that forget it's just entertainment.
It's escapism.
Yeah.
They tag team the fuck out of Idris Elba. It's like, it's fucking fun to watch. It's stupid.
It's true.
And I'm okay enjoying it.
I
was raised in the era of Transformers.
People gotta stop.
I love that
about
shit.
That shit. I was talking to this lady and she was like, what are you doing? What are you doing later? And I said, it was like it was like an interaction at work, right?
Yeah.
At my day job, at our day job that we, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like asking her, what's going on, and she asked me what I was doing later, and I told her I was like, I'm going to this movie with a friend of mine. She's like, oh, what movie? And I was like, it's this Fast and Furious movie. And immediately you could see just her eyes just go like dead, and she was like, don't care.
Fucking morons.
I was like, she pulled out her glasses, adjusted them a little bit, and called me a Philistine and walked the fuck off. And
I love my we both know him. It's one of our trainer dudes at work.
Oh yeah.
He, of all people, I did not expect him to be like, oh hell yeah, Fast and Furious. That sounds like a blast. So it's like nobody knows.
No.
Some people were able to enjoy this. Some people are gonna give you the look that lady gave you and be like,
"This is so funny to me.
How unintellectual of you to be watching a Fast and Furious film." It just, I think some people get it, some people don't.
Yeah, it's true.
And I feel like the people that don't get it are just trying a bit too hard.
They're over-analyzing for sure.
Yeah. So, should I get into spoilers for this?
Yeah, I say dig in. That's all we can talk about without filling you in on more information in particular. So
go watch it if you're willing to turn your brain off for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
There you go.
Which, first thing, it is a bit too long.
The time weighs on you for sure.
Yeah, eventually you're like, fuck, this has got to end soon.
Yeah. Well, it's because, and we talked about this a little bit before seeing it.
We'd seen some reviews from people who got to see pre-screenings of the film. And that was sort of the consensus, was that it was fun, it was a blast to watch, even though it overstayed its welcome to a regard. But then even I sort of feel that because at the end, the movie fucking cuts into credits. What feels like immediately. Yeah,
it definitely doesn't linger anymore. It's like that the whole last kind of action sequence happens. There's
no de-escalating of the action.
Boom, you're done.
And credits are rolling. Yeah, that's it.
It seems like what they did is they wrapped up the movie during credits.
Yeah, almost. I feel like they added they had a goal to make it 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah,
but then they were like, oh, we have some cool other stuff that's could be left on the cutting room floor, but it will feel even more disjointed than it already sort of is. Which it's being perfectly honest from a storyline perspective, you're not paying much attention to the story, but even then, it's still flimsy.
Yeah.
This. Yeah. It's just putting them in interesting places to do cool shit.
Yeah, the story's exactly what you'd expect, kind of. It's
like the spy trope that happens in once per franchise. There's a programmable virus that they're using.
Because I do that too.
Fuck.
Programmable.
Programmable virus.
So
they're going to use to destroy half the population.
So what's it called? The snowflake?
Which is funny in and of itself. That they're programming a virus to kill the weaklings that's called the snowflake.
Oh, God. And it's it liquefies your insides or something.
Yeah, and it has a 100% fatality rate.
Yeah, it's programmed to your individual's DNAs, or it has the potential to, or some shit.
Yeah, it's it targets certain aspects of people's DNA that is weak.
How long? Okay, I didn't count. I definitely didn't count it. But how long do you think it was until we got the first action sequence or first moment?
Dude, it started with a fucking action sequence.
Maybe
maybe 30 seconds because they so
they're
Hobbs'
playing to
sister,
the actor's strengths for sure.
Absolutely. Hobbs' sister is played by Vanessa Kirby. Not Hobbs' sister. Shaw's sister is played by Vanessa Kirby.
Sister.
I have no.
Hobbs.
Shaw.
They're just one. Hobbs and Shaw have morphed into one. They're just Hobbs now.
It's She-Shaw.
She-Shaw.
I actually have no idea what her character's name is.
Yeah, I'm blanking on it too.
Yeah.
She-Shaw.
You're gonna call her Blonde Widow.
So it starts off.
She's with she's with
MI6 unit, right?
And they're getting the fucking virus, and she's being attacked by Idris Elba, who's a fucking superhuman.
Yeah, who has the world's most sophisticated motorcycle.
Yeah, which is actually pretty cool. I felt I was watching that. I was like, "That's dope."
I was like, somebody really liked The Dark Knight. Because every time I saw a random shot of that thing, wheels spinning or something like that, or doing some random folding thing.
Yeah.
I just was having flashbacks to that sequence. Of
the gyro bike,
which is actually really cool. And
it was very obviously all CGI, but it was really fucking good CGI.
At some moments.
Some moments it didn't look good.
It looked really it went too far.
I feel the bike looked good, but there was some other CGI that was dicey.
There was that whole sequence where they're going down an alley and the bike somehow ends up literally riding on the wall.
Yeah.
Popping up on a wall, riding along it and then popping down, and I was like, holy shit. What? it's Idris Elba's a fucking skateboarder, popping up for a wall ride real quick.
The absurdity of some of the things the characters do in this
oh my god.
It's addressed though, because there's the doctor dude.
Yeah.
When Vanessa Kirby's all tied up and she somehow gets one arm out, stabs a dude, injects a dude with something.
Yeah.
They both pass out and she unlatches herself and gets up, and the doctor looks at her and goes, that's impossible.
Yeah, like just straight up.
And she just shrugs it.
Whole movie right there.
Fuck yeah.
That's impossible.
The Rock starts it off eating coffee grounds.
Oh my god, dude. The lady next to me, dude. I don't know if you heard it for that. she was like, oh.
She was like, and he's chugging like eggs, and she just goes, this lady goes, gross.
Yeah, it was like she was just appalled at this morning, this fake morning ritual this person was going.
You think the fucking Rock is drinking egg yolks?
There's no fucking way, dude.
He's taking roids.
Yeah, he's taking roids and drinking tequila.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh my god, I gotta stop doing this. I keep doing this.
Oh, you keep unplugging it.
I'm an unplugging master.
He's passionate about Hobbs and Shaw.
I'm flailing about talking about Hobbs and fucking Shaw, and I'm knocking out my own head.
But it's the whole deal of like they're both getting called in, not being told who each other are, so they don't get too pissed. Yeah. Also, because we went on a tangent, Vanessa Kirby's character injects herself with the virus.
Very important piece.
So she's then the MacGuffin.
Yeah.
And for those who have not heard that term before, a MacGuffin is a thing that ultimately doesn't matter but has to be there to forward the progression of the story.
Boom.
It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. In this case, it could be a virus, it could be a nuke, but all we know is she has it and the characters need to find her and help her.
Yeah, they definitely, like, you think going into the movie, I think that she's going to be kind of, I mean, she is like a vital linchpin in the story because of that she's the MacGuffin, but you think she's going to have like kind of a little more of like a role, but it really eventually just becomes like when she does stuff, she's a fucking badass. It's cool. I think her action sequences are really awesome.
And like a lot of it looks like it's her in camera. The stuff that was practical is fucking awesome. Definitely. Good for Vanessa Kirby. I really liked her and everything I've seen her in. I think she could go places.
Definitely.
Get her a fucking action movie. Let her be in the sequel to Atomic Blonde.
I read this somewhere that there's certain stipulations like in the Rock's contract and Jason Statham's contract to like make them look good. Like,
I'm not surprised.
And like to like give them like the Rock's contract, it has something that says
baby oil.
Maybe every time he's he
actually
doing a shoot, he has to get lathered up.
He actually doesn't stop sweating throughout this film. He's like greasy at any given time. Yeah. And it's okay when he's in LA, but when they're flying through the fucking Ukraine and he's dripping in sweat and it looks like it's like a tundra around him, fuck you.
Oh my god, what's the name of your Eaton or something like that?
Eton Corp or something like that. Yeah. It's like a cyber cult.
So they're being, carved into the big villain for the series, basically, and it's like they're trying to make humanity better by
they're trying to
eliminating the weak.
Save the world by only saving those who are worthy to be in like the next step.
And basically doing what they're doing to Idris Elba in the movie, which is like giving him robotic enhancements.
Yeah, like he's got like these weird eyes that like tell him which this is egregious. The Rock is throwing a punch at him and it like has his hand highlighted and says like 1,300 pounds of force.
Yeah. I saw that was one of the only like real like specific shots you could see when they were showing his like little tactical vision or whatever. Yeah.
Which
I was like that's a direct thing. Like The Rock was like, has to make sure I look fucking tough.
No human can punch with 1,300 pounds of fucking force.
Shobbs, dude.
Shobbs.
Shobbs, bro.
That's gonna be the next one. 2 Shobbs, 2 Hobbs, 2 Shaw.
But okay, so I just saw that, in my opinion, the trailer, and if you watch the trailers or the movie, you'll he does do like the whole "I'm Black Superman."
Yeah.
He's not so much Black Superman as he's like the Black $6 Million Man.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like
I do love his intro though, where they're like, "Who are you?" And he goes, "Bad guy."
Yeah, he's just like owns it.
Yeah, bad guy. And just starts beating the shit out of everyone.
He's a badass. Like his role is fucking awesome. Like
he's like $6 Million Man meets Terminator.
Definitely. And he's virtually unstoppable.
Yeah. The way that I like what they did to eventually beat him, where they just were like, we have to fight together, and one of us at any given time has to be getting our ass kicked, so the other one can land a punch.
Yeah, that's basically it. Otherwise, like every time throughout, they went toe to toe with him like I think 3 different times throughout the movie.
And I mean, for the most part, they got their asses kicked.
Yeah, and that was because each time, and you know that's the whole point of the end sequence. But each time they went at him like 1-on-1. Yeah. And he was able to like his computer whatever enhancements have like enabled him to tactically break down how they are going to throw punches and like attack him basically. Yeah. So he's untouchable, and I did kind of like that element too.
And I mean, how they take him out is fucking brutal too. They just like overwhelm his systems and keep perfectly like fighting together until the Rock grabs him and like does a total wrestler fucking.
It was a wrestling move
and breaks his back
right into a fucking rock.
Yeah, and you were like, oh,
it looked gnarly, dude. Even though you knew it was fake, like
but
it
there
just
was
looked gnarly.
The sound bite they put in there where it was just like,
yeah,
where it was like,
dude,
like that.
It was Narbones, dude.
Narbones is a good way to describe it. I heard from you sitting next to me and the fucking lady sitting next to you, just ooh.
Yeah. Me and that lady had that moment in common. I tried to reach over and grab some popcorn from her, and I'm just.
and then they fucking shut him down, which is brutal, like horrifying, existentially in and of itself.
Yeah, dude, like that was. I mean, that was one of the. Not that like you could ever really dig deep into this movie, but that was probably one of the moment where you could be like, fuck. Man, like just somebody being able to like turn your switch like that, like.
And he fell and disappeared into the ocean.
Yeah. Aquaman took him.
I mean, like, that's what I half expect to end up happening in fucking Samoa.
Yeah. Dude, well, okay, so let's talk about that sequence. So, like, that was probably one of the biggest draws in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
The trailer was like, check out this, like, introduction to Samoa and The Rock's family.
I love they tried to have this fucking sob story of The Rock's, like, they used to be a crime family.
They squeezed it in. They squeezed it in there right at the end.
They squeezed it in there right at the end. Yes. And he became a cop because he turned in his dad, who's who became okay with his family getting potentially murdered.
Yeah, so...
And they started like a chop shop.
So he shows up at Samoa, and you discover that he has not only his mom, his mom's living there, but he has like fucking 13 brothers. At times it looks like 40.
It looks like a small army.
It does, dude. Like I mean, it's a small enough but large enough clan in a way to like take on this battalion of fucking soldiers that showed up like later on.
I love at the end of the movie even they're like Samoa will respond, and you see all the fucking like normal people just like driving up and like surrounding all the soldiers that are left.
That was actually pretty cool.
I was like, holy shit!
So like, I think the lady's like line, the Rock's mama's line was like we're gonna get like a Samoan ass beating or something. Yeah, like that.
I'm getting a good old Samoan ass beating.
Okay, so they show up and you learn that backstory where
and there's the one like disgruntled brother,
Jonah.
Fucking
Jonah, man. Who also that guy, I don't know the name of that actor, but he's been in a lot of other random. I totally recognize him, but he was kind of hard to play. I couldn't.
It's like
I recognized him, but didn't. You know what I mean?
Hey, we check the box. Mentioned David Harbour once an episode. He's like the pre-Stranger Things David Harbour.
Yeah, actually, there you go.
It's like I fucking know this dude, but he's been in things. But he's like 40 and has yet to hit it big.
So there's that guy, and then the only other person in this is like Roman Reigns, I think, which is also a former wrestler or something like that.
Speaking
who didn't? I was shocked because I saw it all over Instagram, and this
all over The Rock's Instagram. He was all over all the promotional material.
My brother Roman Reigns is in this movie with me.
I think at one point he just goes, Rah!
Yeah, and like they basically just like do some wrestling moves on a battlefield together.
Yeah,
and like
at the crack of dawn.
Yeah, and that was like the extent of Roman Reigns' part. But
and then we can't not talk about the whole deal with the fucking helicopter.
Oh my god.
Which is like the big set piece. Like every Fast and Furious movie now has the set piece.
Yeah.
Where it's like the vault, the plane that never fucking stops trying to take off.
Something that needs a vehicle to stop.
So in this case, they finally get their hands on Shisha.
Yeah.
Shisha.
Shisha down by the Shisha.
She put her in the fucking plane. No, in the helicopter, and the Rock with a fucking chain takes a jump, and at this point, like they latch the fucking chain around the helicopter's rotor.
He's able to throw this giant chain around the helicopter and wrangle it.
So they're wrangling a helicopter and driving along, and starts lifting them off the ground. And here comes the whole family, and they start like attaching the cars together.
Yeah. Then they have a series of ridiculous like shots where one big Samoan dude, like, quotes heavily, like picks up some chains.
Dude, that was Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
He's like throws the shit.
He throws
magically locks in.
Yeah, and then just like it's this clearly CGI'd hooks like wrap around a clearly CGI'd like fucking front end of a vehicle.
Yeah,
and then like they do it 2 more times.
Like, they did it like 4 more times.
Yeah, oh, fair enough, dude. That was one.
But it never was like annoying.
No,
like,
it was actually a really cool sequence. Some points laughable.
Like some points in like recent Transformers movies, they've done shit. I was like, fuck you, Michael Bay.
Yeah, like too far.
Like the only one in recent history I can think of when it comes to Transformers where there wasn't that moment was Bumblebee. But Fast and Furious never fucking goes that far. Like, that was happening, I was like, bullshit, but this is fun nonetheless.
Well, and that's kind of the thing. Throughout this entire movie, they paint this like heavy story that you're supposed to take seriously, but they just completely inject it with humor.
But I think they're very well aware that no one's going to take the heavy story seriously.
Yeah, they're absolutely capitalizing on the fact that people want to see a fun action movie.
It's the absurdist backdrop that just further perpetuates the obnoxiousness of the story.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it worked. It worked
so well
for what it was. It just worked so well.
And then we can't forget cameos.
Yeah. So there was a handful. What was your favorite between?
Dude, Ryan Reynolds right when he showed up.
Yeah.
Which it's worth noting. Film was directed by the same dude who directed Deadpool 2. So it makes sense that Ryan Reynolds probably coming off the back of filming Deadpool 2.
Yeah, they were able to like kind of maybe lean in like a collar, just maybe he even wanted to do
I can only imagine with him and Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart also showed up.
Yep.
Probably were on set for a day.
Yeah. Well, and they're like Kevin Hart. I easily explained with like The Rock's clearly buddies with him. Like, like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and the director's buddies with Ryan Reynolds.
Anything Kevin Hart comes into like is usually gold.
Yeah.
Like he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and his part was like a complete non-factor to the story at all, but it was funny.
Yeah.
Like
they brought him in like a couple times too, which is kind of cool about it.
Which he was the guy who got them the flight to Samoa.
What was his name? It's Dinkley, right?
Yeah, it was Dinkley. And he was an air marshal.
Yeah.
And like they're shit talking on the plane, and he turns around and goes, "Cool down." Yeah. And
he does the Chris Pratt thing. He changes his voice to sound tougher.
Yeah. He's like, that's not your real voice. It's like, come on, man, this is my real voice.
This is my real voice.
I mean, come on, guys. Like, I could be the third piece of your trifecta.
But so I definitely think that they're gonna they'll probably rope Kevin Hart more into like.
I think they're gonna rope Ryan Reynolds more into it.
Well, they're definitely going to, because I want to talk about those post-credit scenes.
So post-credit scenes with Ryan Reynolds, he's got like I think it's played for laughs, but he's got another virus.
Yeah.
That he's like, it's so much worse. They'll melt your face off.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
It's very like Ryan Reynolds kind of like.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just has a certain cadence and rhythm to him.
He's on the phone with Hobbs. Being like, help! I need your help. And it's actually Hobbs' daughter. And Hobbs is like, fuck off!
That's right.
You're talking to my kid. And he hangs up on him. And then this next post-credit scene,
to a mirror or something like that.
the next post-credit scene is him, Ryan Reynolds, with like a fucking hallway of dead Eaton agents.
Yeah.
And he's stabbed one with a brick, which is a callback to a joke earlier in the film, which was pure fucking gold.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, that was easier than I thought it was. But then it brings me to what I was going to tell you, but I chose not to tell you before. There is a theory, which it's fucking hilarious at the theory crafting for Fast and Furious, that Ryan Reynolds is the leader of the bad guys.
I've heard that actually.
I love that theory.
I think it might be. I think it might
because the dude kept saying like, you know me, Hobbs. He's like Hobbs' super fan, but Hobbs hates him.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, look at like the Incredibles, man. Like the Incredibles.
That's what I thought of.
Like,
Syndrome.
Exactly. I think like that would be such a fun spin on like their weird like
this
super
dude who is
gonna
be like a fucking non-factor.
Yeah, just this complete like random character, and he's he wants to get closer to Hobbs.
Yeah.
So he just decides to be like the ultimate villain.
He's like, turn him. Like that makes sense earlier when they're like, I don't want you to kill them.
Yeah. I mean, like in the movie, we thought we were talking like we just like
this dude seems like he could be a surprise bad guy.
Yeah, he definitely could be. I think he could be. The only other thought that I had like could be the villain would be like we talked about that a little bit. Was Charlie like maybe Charlize Theron's character?
Yeah.
But I kind of like the Ryan Reynolds theory.
I do too. Yeah. I like one of my favorite jokes in the movie was when he opened up his shirt and it was the Rock's tattoo.
My God, he had the Rock's tattoo on his arm.
Remember we got those tattoos together and the Rock's like, when he opens up his shirt, he's like, this one? Come on, man.
I mean, honestly, like, it
so much fun.
It was just fun.
I'm thoroughly excited for what's to come.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be making more. After seeing it, again, I ask you, what do you think? Are you looking forward to Fast and Furious 9 now? You think it's going to be anything?
I had such a good time, and I feel like with the potential add-ons they're going to have for Hobbs and Shaw, and potentially for the Fast and Furious greater franchise as well.
Yeah,
it's going to stay good. Like, I don't think they should be worried about like shit going wrong here.
Fair enough.
So who knows what's gonna happen? I think I'm still excited. We'll see what happens. But
yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat. I think it'll be cool to see where they take it. I think the Fast and Furious movies are going to be they're going to try and take themselves completely too seriously, as opposed to the Hobbs and Shaw fully embracing that kind of humor.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think it'll be cool.
Yeah. We want to quickly mention we're going to be doing another podcast, along with eventually my music one that I'm going to do.
Hell yeah.
I need to get down to fucking buying a mic for that. But we're going to be talking about, I'm going to compete as a barista up in Seattle, and we're going to have a little conversation about how that turned out. The whole process of competition and all that.
Yeah, that's going to be it'll be probably the first episode of the new show though.
Yeah.
That'll be,
what are we calling it again?
It's going to be called Local Yokels. It's yeah.
I love that fucking name.
It's I mean, like always striving to kind of build old heart radio to be something for everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's like
in this case it gives us a chance, mostly you, this can be your baby, to talk with some of our friends, get sort of a grasp on what's going on in our community here.
Yeah.
Why not? Try and make it a bit better for everyone.
Who are you? What do you do? You might as well get to know the people around you.
Yeah, so I think probably the first episode will be with me. We'll get Harrison on it with Monk Flower Band. Maybe get some of the other band members talking.
Yeah, talk to some artists around town.
Why not?
We got a great community around us, so you might as well embrace it. And that's kind of the same thing for anybody around, like anywhere local. So
yeah.
I don't know. We got some good stuff coming up personally.
We'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing you can bet on, it's this fucker coming out every Thursday.
Oh yeah.
Matinee Edition.
Matinee Edition's turned into the staple.
Oh yeah.
What is? Well,
I guess that's just how it goes then.
I guess.
Got to wrap it up somehow. And
episode 13. Turns out it wasn't so cursed, I don't think.
Yeah, who knows? A fucking meteor could hit us out of nowhere.
That's true. All right. Go out there and do your thing, everybody.
Aqua Cola.